Good morning, David Coombe here with the CBS AM Debrief. It's Friday the 9th of September, just coming up on 8 a.m. here in the Sydney office, and we've just seen the US session finish here. The Dow's down some 119 points. Bernanke's talk there was not too specific on, it was pretty vague in terms of the job stimulus package. Apparently the market wasn't too impressed with that, so we saw it get sold off there a bit. The rest of the indices, S&P 500, similar sort of percentage decline, a little bit more. Nasdaq 3/4, and the rest of the Americas were down. Apart from Brazil, up 1.8. Europe all green. Albeit that the DAX are barely above break even. The broader Stoxx 50 though up 0.57, and the Milan index 0.69, probably being the bigger movers there. Yesterday we had the Nikkei up 29, the Hang Seng down 135, and then we closed just in positive territory at 4.6% after being up earlier in the session. The futures locally suggest that we'll see a selling off here going into the weekend, which seems to be pretty standard at the moment. People are a little bit reluctant to take things home with them for the weekend if they don't really need to, rather. Okay, moving on to have a look at the commodities. West Texas coming off here just slightly after the big run-up on the back of the US numbers the other day. The Obama $300 billion stimulus package. The natural gas here, 3.98, $3.98, up 4 cents. Hopefully that'll get the $4 handle pretty soon. As for the softs, we had a bit of a mixed picture here. Quite encouraged to see that cotton moving up pretty strongly here. I know that John has been talking about that quite a bit, and also has mentioned it in his Barrett's bulletin, and so it really looks like that breakout might be holding ground there. For some of the other commodities, sugar was up 1.13. Lumber up 2.80, wool 153. Big movers were oats down 2.28. The wheat down 180. Corn 18. Can't actually see the figure behind there. 187. And soy down 0.45%. Rough rice down 1.76. And copper at $4.14 and 35 cents. 0.35% rather, and gold at 1857.50, continuing to gyrate around there. It's really hard to trade that at the moment, I suspect. $39.90 was the rise, and silver up 0.899. And then moving on to our currencies, euro buying 1.3882. So we've probably had some pretty good US dollar strength there. Pound buying 1.5960, the US dollar buying 77.5285 yen, the Aussie buying 105.75, and the US dollar buying 0.9893 Canadian and 0.8751 Swiss francs. Excuse me, let's have a look at the economic calendar. That was yesterday. We had those employment numbers that came out at 11:30. The market wasn't that impressed with that. We ended up with a decline of 9,700 jobs. We were expecting 10,000 new jobs, and surprisingly the unemployment rate jumped up to 5.3%. We were expecting a 5.1% print there. But looking for today, we have US consumer credit that's come in at 12 billion. They're expecting 6. So that sort of suggests that the US consumers are back into spending mode there. Yeah, a little bit interesting to see what the potential ramifications of that might be. Moving on though, New Zealand, we've got similar set of numbers coming out there for their card spending. Then we've got Japanese GDP numbers out at 950. So we'll be seeing how much of a rebound they're getting as they start to get over the earthquake and tsunami there. Then we move into some Chinese data around midday. Whoops, I've gone wrong there. And then Eurozone data, UK CPI numbers, and then through to Canadian employment numbers and more data out of China. Let's take a look now at the Falcon Trader. We're just having a look here at that price action for the index here on a 15-minute chart. So we're opened up here at 4211. We got to 1130, and then those numbers came out, so we saw that 40 odd point move down as a consequence there, and then just recovered a little bit, and then sort of flattened out for the rest of the day before we closed in on that, closed the market on that flat note. Okay, finishing up here, we'll just cover a couple of stocks that I have been mentioning. One CSL, that's actually come down. Really hasn't seen much follow through from that Swiss franc exchange rate pegging, which should really help things. Yeah, not doing that trade's not doing really what I wanted to do, unfortunately. Then we can move on here and have a look at Silver Lakes. SLR is the code there. Now, I think I mentioned that we would expect to see some resistance up at this level at 265. I'll just bring this in if I can find it, that level there, which indeed we did find. That retraced back there around to just below $2.50. It does appear to have now broken out though, which could be a good opportunity to buy the break here, providing it doesn't turn around here and ends up being a false break. Okay, so I want to have a look at cotton here. Just starting to confirm that that is a proper break higher. So we have resistance here 3 times. We had that break there in the previous trading session, and now that's consolidated on that one. We're looking for 119 as the initial target there. Looking here for our US dollar index. Okay, continuing to make grounds here. Again, I know Jono has been talking about this in his morning debriefs and also in the bulletin, and that's looking like it's putting in some quite reasonable gains there. Probably getting up towards the top of the trading range here, or the immediate short-term trading range, so probably would expect to see a little bit of resistance here, or consolidation perhaps. Looking here now quickly at the Aussie dollar. We're within our trading range here. Pretty hard to trade it unless you want to have your stop up here above 107 or nearly 108, that sort of thing. But you're looking at pretty big risk reward ratio is not that good on that, I wouldn't have thought. Just seeing what else we can follow up on here. Luca, I think I've mentioned in previous sessions that it has worried me as to just where the heck this thing's going. I continue to hold a long position. My entry level was around the mid $16. Really, guess that's a little bit of a case of wait and see, or simply getting out for even on that one. And that, I think, is where I'll leave it. Jono's travelling to Europe, left yesterday, and we'll be there for all of next week. He will be posting updates or bulletins when he gets the chance. So hopefully we'll get some interesting coverage there. So until my next bulletin here, have a great weekend. Bye for now.